Welcome to another episode of Talking Awe. This week, I'm going to start by saying thank you. Whoa. Thanks to Ruthie for sending me an email last week. Unfortunately, Ruthie, I'm not going to run for school board. It will do no good. One person with a mind like mine will do no good. The school board shuts people like that out. I feel that I've got more power sitting right here. And there are people on the school board that watch the show. My glasses are filthy. But, you know, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort. And what it boils right down to is it's the bureaucracy. And it'll never change. It would be nice to think that $61 million would be way more than enough to educate our kids. The way things are going, I don't know. I saw a story last week. I believe it was from North Carolina. A good mother got up in the morning, packed her kids' lunch, turkey sandwich, I'm not sure if they were chips, but I believe there was applesauce, a good bag lunch. Much the same as what a lot of us used to take to school every day before the hot lunch program. It was brown bag lunches. And I can still remember when we'd go on field trips. I like tuna fish. Couldn't take tuna fish. Oh my God, the mayonnaise will spoil in the car. Yeah, all right. I never died. Look, I made it to 50 without, you know, the beginning of my education. I believe the elementary schools, when I was in school, had no hot lunch program. I didn't get into hot lunch until, I believe it was junior high, or it must have been junior high. Anyway, this mother packed her kid's lunch, sent the kid to lunch. The only thing the kid didn't have was milk. The school confiscated that lunch because they said it was unhealthy. Instead, they fed the kid chicken nuggets. Granted, chicken's good for you. The school also sent home a bill for the hot lunch. You know, schools are in business for one reason: to educate our kids. Schools, the last thing on a school's mind should be the nourishment of its students. The school is not open to be a restaurant or a cafeteria. It is open to be a damn school. And once the school system gets out of our houses and out of our private lives, today if a kid goes to school with no money for lunch, the school will feed that kid and send the bill home. My high school career would have been over as a freshman. Because as soon as my dad got that Oh, I keep raising my voice. Soon as my dad got that bill for the hot lunch, he would say, "What the hell happened to the money that I gave you on Monday for lunches for the whole week?" He was trying to teach me to budget my money. But I was stupid. I was young. I'd go to school on Monday morning and buy joints with my lunch money. And then I just wouldn't eat. And back then, you didn't have the school going, "How come you're not eating? How come you're not eating?" They didn't care if you ate or not. Eating and nourishment is a parent's job. For one thing, Google chicken nuggets and find out exactly what that shit you're eating is. It's the same thing as hot dogs. It's all the leftover chicken parts that they can't sell in separate packages. They grind it up, they smash it up, they put some stuff in to make it white. They put some chicken flavoring in it. They mash it through a Play-Doh maker and form nuggets. That's what you're eating. Beaks and asses. That's what chicken nuggets are. Oops, I guess I should have told your kids to get out of the room first. You want to feed your kids chicken, feed them chicken. Don't feed them the stuff that usually gets sent to pigs. And the school system, get the hell out of our family lives. Don't tell me how to nourish my kid. My eating habits these days are a lot different than they were when I was a kid. Well, not much, though. I don't eat breakfast. Oh my God, that's horrible. I should be dead, right? I eat a small lunch or maybe a couple snacks through the day. And then I eat dinner. And I don't eat just because it's 12 o'clock or just because it's 5 o'clock. Lunchtime, dinner time, that's not a reason to eat. The only reason you should eat is because you're hungry. That's the way the body was designed. The body will tell you when to eat. You don't have to go, "Oh my God, it's 12 o'clock, I better eat." Well, if you don't eat at 12 o'clock, you're not going to drop dead at 12:01. Chances are you're not going to drop dead at 12:30 or 1 o'clock either. Although if you eat at 12 o'clock, don't go swimming until 1, or else you'll die. Stupid, huh? Is that all I wanted to talk about the schools? Anyway, thank you, Ruthie, for the email. But I'm not going to run for school board. I'm waiting for my next chance at mayor. Who knows? Maybe I'll get 300 votes. Of course, I'll only run if there's only one other guy running. You know, there's a whole handful of people in there. Forget it. You don't need me. All right. I think I covered the school crap. Alternative educations. That's what we have to look into. You don't need to buy a math book to teach a kid math. All you have to do is start counting. Yeah. Kids are smart. They'll figure stuff out all on their own. All right. What's another thing I want to talk about this week? All right. I guess I'll get that over with. Whitney Houston. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, she's dead. We get it. Another sad and tragic tale, I'm sure. Young girl. Young, beautiful girl. Beautiful voice. Tons of talent. We threw her up on the pedestal. Gave her millions and millions of dollars. Stuck cameras in her face every chance we could. Every little blurb in the trash rag magazines. You know. Everybody pay attention to Whitney. Everybody look at Whitney. She's beautiful. She's got a great voice. She's a wonderful actor. She's a beautiful singer. She's a drug addict. Not an alleged drug addict. A confessed drug addict. Cocaine. Pot. Alcohol. That stuff didn't kill her. Prescription drugs killed her. Which is another thing that famous people can get by the boatloads. So for the past week, I've seen news story after news story. All day Saturday was the funeral we had to endure. Everybody saying wonderful, beautiful things about Whitney. The fact is, we could have driven her into this life of drugs, and it's not the first time it's happened. I remember when Elvis died, the king. Yeah, died of a drug overdose. But you know what? He was the king. Who cares? And we heard about that for months and months and months. Michael Jackson, we heard about. He was so young and so rich, but he just lost his mind. It's bound to happen. But you hear about these people and the tragedy of their death for months and months afterwards. And nobody dares mention the real tragedies. The dead that are being shipped back from overseas every single day. And you won't see not one of their funerals on TV. You won't hear a week's worth of news stories about Sergeant whatever. And I'm pretty sure these soldiers, sailors, airmen were doing a lot more for you than just pumping out records and movies. They are the reason you have freedom. They die every single day. But shh, don't let anybody know. Don't even show the caskets with the flags on them. Is this what our life has become? We are more wrapped up in the people that entertain us than we are about the people that are providing the entertainers with the freedom to entertain us. It's stupid. But that's what happens. The way that our minds think these days. And since 9/11, the government has jumped on the fear bandwagon. And now every time the littlest thing happens, it's a crisis. I'm going to jump back to the schools because this past week there was an incident that didn't involve the schools. But because of this mindset of fear that we have, schools were locked down. We had armed police roaming the halls of the schools. I never knew this, but there is, I'm not sure exactly what type, but there is an assault rifle kept inside Keene High School. How crazy is that? Granted, back when I was in school, certain times a year, there were a lot of guns kept in the high school. Guns kept in lockers. Hunting rifles. Because back when I grew up, people used to hunt. Kids used to hunt. It's not so much anymore. That's one of those things like camping. You know, people don't camp anymore. Because why rough it, you know? There are 15 hotels between your campsite and the beach. You might as well stay at one of them. Sure, it costs a little more, but you don't have to sleep on the ground. You don't have to worry about the mosquitoes, and you don't have to build a fire to cook your food. We're getting soft. We're teaching our kids to be soft. Where a lot of them, the hardest thing they'll ever do is push a few buttons on a computer. Fat and lazy. But boy, can they play Call of Duty. And you know, that's the important thing. I was shocked. People say, well, it's a tool for the SRO, the school resource officer. And he keeps it under lock and key. Lock and key. And apparently nobody has ever gotten past a lock and key. Weapons don't belong in high schools. And if a school is going to have a school resource officer, he shouldn't be wearing fatigues. He shouldn't be wearing BDUs, battle dress uniform. He should have a police officer's uniform with nice dress pants and a tie. Yeah. He should look like a cop, not a member of special forces. And as far as that goes, all cops should dress like cops and not like special forces. Maybe that's just my opinion. But the way that I look at it is if you want to dress like a special forces operator, then join special forces. But I'll tell you one thing, that's going to be a lot more work and more dangerous than the police officer job you have right now in Keene. You want to wear that all black suit, you know, with the cargo pockets for your grenades and everything? Then join the military. What I want to see on the streets is more cops like Adam 12. I know, you young kids don't know what Adam 12 was. Adam 12 was a cop show. To me, one of the better cop shows. It was black and white, so you kids might not like it. But when I asked my dad for a color TV, he said, "You'd be lucky you got black and white. When I was a kid, we had just black." So black and white TV won't hurt you. And if you watch a TV that's not high def, that won't kill you either. All right. Where the hell am I going with this? Oh, yeah. Weapons in school, bad. Why didn't I just say that at the beginning? Could have saved myself all this trouble. Cops, act like cops. You know? Live up to that symbol and those words that you put on the side of your car. Serve and protect. Yeah. You want somebody beat down, call the military. You want somebody killed, call the Special Forces. The Navy SEALs. They're the killers. They're the military. And Homeland Security? That's one way to shave a crap load off the top of the budget right there. Get rid of Homeland Security. We don't need them. The CIA is supposed to handle intelligence from overseas. The FBI is supposed to handle threats in the United States. If the FBI can't handle the threats in the United States, the National Guard, an arm of the military. That's what their job is. Oh man, I'm bouncing all over the place today, aren't I? It's Sunday. It's a little chilly here in the studio today. But, and just so you know, should have seen this. I don't just have a cup sitting on my desk. It's in a special little protective non-knocker over spiller thing. And I have to reach for it. All right. Schools. Whitney Houston. Cops. What else was I going to talk about? There was something else that's been in the news. No, not the Bearcat. I won't talk about the Bearcat today. Because the city council is not going to vote on that till March 1st. The school board talked about them. City council, nothing to really talk about city council. Because city council, they've been all right. They even endured the Free State guys at last Thursday night city council meeting. And imagine my surprise when I figured out the city council had an opening act. It might be something for future mayors and councilors to think about. Having a little quiet guy in the back corner with a guitar or something singing protest songs before the meeting to entertain people. Otherwise, people just sit there and get bored waiting for the meeting to start. Free State group, and there were, I don't know, half a dozen, maybe 8 or 9, were at city council. They had their signs, and 5 minutes before the meeting started, they broke into a rousing chorus of thanks, but no tanks. So it was fun. The councilors seemed to enjoy it. Even the officers on duty in the council chambers seemed to enjoy it. You know, it was nice. Could have used a little bit of musical accompaniment. But as an a cappella group, the Free State Tabernacle Choir, whoo-hoo, fantastic. I like it. All right, what's coming up? There are The Wizard of Oz is, I believe, still playing next weekend. I think they had 2 weekends. They kicked it off this past Thursday night and went through the weekend. From what I hear, full house every night, which is fantastic for the Lions Club. The Seed celebration was this past weekend over at the UCC at the head of the square. That was on Saturday. So if any of you went to that, congratulations. Uh, the weather has been phenomenal. We couldn't ask for a milder winter. And as a matter of fact, Lee asked me when the last time that I saw a winter like this was, and I was trying to remember, and I can't even think of a winter. Growing up here my entire life, I can't really think of one winter that was like this. So maybe them global warming nuts have a point. Maybe it is getting warmer. Although there was a month back or so, Alaska got like 18 feet of snow in 2 days. Uh, or was it 2 feet of snow in 18 days? One or the other. Pretty sure it was the other. They had a buttload of snow in just a few days. So, I don't think so much the globe is warming as much as it's just changing places. And it's got nothing to do with man. It's all in weather currents and stuff like that. Man, I know I'm gonna finish the show and I'm gonna go, I should have talked about that. But let me figure out where I am. Damn, I still got that on. Run my email address for you real quick. You can email me, talkingaw at CheshireTV.org, like Ruthie did. And I'll address your email if you email me. All right. My time's about up, too. And figure out where my credits are. Get the right buttons pushed. And until next week, it's Rick Blood. Peace.